first one is standard Tonjiru. You can make authentic pork miso soup with this recipe so easy. Pork miso soup goes well with any vegetables, so you can add whatever you like, but the standard ingredients include daikon, carrot, and gobo, burdock root. It's recommended to add a little onion for sweeter and great taste. This can be done without it, but adding green makes it even more colorful, so green beans are added. You can also sprinkle green onions at the end. Pork belly is the standard for Tonjiru, and the fatty meat provides umami. Using pork loin is healthier. In that case, also use thinly sliced pork. Stir-fry vegetables except green beans in the pan with a small amount of oil. I use sesame oil. The process of frying the ingredients before adding the water is important, as it transfers the flavors of the ingredient to the oil and adds depth to the finished product. Stir fry over medium heat for 2 minutes, then add pork. Pork is cooked quickly, so I added it later, but pork and vegetables can be put in pot together and stir-fried. When the pork is cooked, add water, add dashi powder. Today I plan to use regular miso without dashi, so I add dashi here. The vegetables and meat makes a delicious broth, so if you don't have dashi powder, you can just use water. Simmer for a while as root vegetables take time to soften. Simmer over low heat for 5 minutes for now. Speaking of pork miso soup, I like to eat it with rice. Today I will make 2 kinds of onigiri, spicy cold raw and salmon flake. Spread a little salt on wet hands before taking the rice. Place the ingredients so that they are in the center of the rice. I hear that you shouldn't grip the rice too hard and too many times. In fact, they say it's better to grip it so gently that it crumbs immediately, but I always grip it this hard because of its appearance. Tonjiru can be a side dish by itself. Even if you don't have onigiri, the soup and rice alone make a delicious meal. Please try the combination of the two. Wrap nori seaweed around the onigiri and it's ready to serve. Add the beans to the soup. If you prefer crispy texture, 1 to 2 minutes is fine, but I cook mine for about 3 minutes. In the meantime, the root vegetables become even more tender and tasty. Turn off the heat and add miso. Any kind of miso can be used. My miso is standard red miso, made from rice goji, soybeans, and salt. The miso has a slight sweetness due to the slightly higher amount of koji. When the miso has dissolved thoroughly, it's ready to serve. This is Nanami togarashi, Japanese 7-spice blend. This is the popular way to eat it. With rice balls and pork miso soup, this is a very satisfying meal. It's now a splendid teishoku. Next one is spicy Tonjiru. First, prepare the minced garlic and ginger. It has been a while since I used fresh garlic and ginger instead of paste, and it's tastier this way. The ingredients this time are onion, carrot, fried tofu, shiitake mushroom, green onion, and this is daikon radish sprouts for topping. And the most important pork belly. Heat ginger, garlic, green onion, and sesame oil in a pot. When a good smell comes, add dovenjeon. Stir to combine and add pork. If you do not have dovenjeon, make a substitute by mixing these ingredients. When pork is almost cooked, add onion and carrot. Stir fry for a while. This looks delicious all by itself. When the vegetables have wilted a little, add water, tomato juice, This is optional, of course water only is fine. Adding tomato juice adds a little sourness and the umami of the tomatoes, making it very tasty. Add bean sprouts, shiitake mushroom, and fried tofu. Season them with sugar, soy sauce, sake, and dashi powder. Mix well. Simmer for 2 to 3 minutes. Turn off the heat and dissolve the miso. At this time, I forgot to turn off the heat. 2 tablespoons of miso is a bit much, so you can use about 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of miso. You can add a little at a time as you taste. You can adjust the spiciness by changing the amount of doubanjian to your liking. This time it was a well-balanced mixture that was not that spicy, but I could feel the proper spiciness. Adding a little tomato juice was a great decision. This would be a super tasty ramen with noodles in it. You could also add udon noodles or rice. Next one is summer veggie tonjiru. I will be using delicious summer vegetables. Another unique feature is that this time pork miso soup is made without using dashi. The certain ingredients used in place of dashi powder and the new ingredients give the pork miso soup a completely different flavor than usual. After cutting eggplant, prepare okra. Rub salt on the surface of okra. Wait 1 minute. Then rinse with water. Remove the stems from the okra and cut into small pieces. I cut the okra so that you can see the cute star-shaped cross-section of the okra. Add cherry tomatoes later. Onions and potatoes are not summery, but I wanna add them because they add sweetness and umami. Prepare pork as usual. This time I'm going to change things up a bit and fry them in olive oil. Spread oil over all and lightly heat through. Add the pork. Here is the key point. Sprinkle garlic powder on the pork. Up to this point, it looks like the steps for making spaghetti sauce. Miso soup is great for any kind of arrangement. When the pork is cooked, mix it with the vegetables and add water. This time, use this consomme instead of dashi powder. It's a mix of vegetable and beef extract. Even if you don't have dashi powder, you can make delicious tonjiru by using your favorite stock powder. Cook over low heat for 8 minutes to soften potatoes and eggplant. Okra is cooked for about 2 minutes, so add it last. After 2 minutes, turn off the heat and add tomato. Dissolve in miso and you're done. The result is a pork miso soup that has a somewhat western feel to it despite being a Japanese miso soup. Cherry tomatoes and okra add a refreshing touch. Sprinkle with Parmesan cheese and parsley if desired. Next one is Zoni-style Tonjiru. Zoni is Japanese traditional soup dish for New Year's. The most distinctive feature is the inclusion of the rice cakes, mochi. The seasoning varies from region to region, sometimes soy sauce based, sometimes miso based. The ingredients used are very similar to standard tonjiru. I want to use daikon, gobo, and carrot to make it look like a real zoni garnished with naruto. Cut your pork belly as usual. Stir-fry vegetables in sesame oil. By the way, I think many families in Tokyo make soy sauce-based zoni. This time I made it with miso flavor, and my husband liked it so much that he wanted me to make it even outside of New Year's Day. Add the pork. Add water. Here I add a little sake. It helps to eliminate meat smell and bring out the umami and richness of the ingredients. I would suggest including it in other tonjiru recipes as you like. Add dashi powder. This soup also has vegetables that are difficult to heat, such as gobo, so it should be simmered longer. Simmer for 8 to 10 minutes. While simmering, bake mochi in a different pan. I always cook them on very low heat because I'm afraid of burning them, but then it takes about 10 minutes. You can also bake it with a little more heat. Cook until the surface is slightly brown but not burnt. When it puffs up like this, it's ready. Turn off the heat and dissolve the miso in the soup. Now I don't have any white miso, so I make it with red miso, but in the Kansai region, a lot of people make zoni with white miso, which is much sweeter taste. Serve the soup with the rice cakes. Baking rice cakes in a fry pan like this keeps the surface of the rice cake crispy and tasty even when soup is added. Put minced green onion and naruto. Next one is creamy tonjiru. This one also goes well with any vegetable, so choose whatever you like. I recommend potatoes and onions. I also add carrot, kabocha squash, and shiitake mushroom. Again, I thought olive oil would be a good match. Forgot to mention, if you are not a big fan of pork, you can make it with chicken and it will still be so tasty. In that case, it will no longer be tonjiru though. Ton means pork and jiru means soup. When pork is cooked, add shiitake mushroom and water. Simmer until kabocha and potatoes are soft. I forgot to add the dashi powder. Simmer over low heat for 5 to 6 minutes to soften the ingredients. Then add milk. Mix well. Once the milk is added, heat it up. But turn off the heat just before it boils. Add miso paste. The result is a very creamy, yummy, and satisfying soup. You can add lots of veggies and meat to make it a main dish. You can also use soy milk instead of milk. Sprinkle minced green onion as you like. The last one is Mizore Tonjiru. What does Mizore mean? Try to guess the answer. This time I use konjac, lotus root, and carrot. Since konjac has a distinctive smell, heat it in boiling water for about 2 minutes. This hot water is discarded. Konjac is another ingredient that is used quite often in standard pork miso soup, so please try adding it. When making this, I omitted the stir-fry process and boiled the ingredient in water from the beginning. It's perfectly acceptable to omit the process of frying vegetable in oil, especially if you are in a hurry or don't want to use oil. Make it like this. Boil hard to cook a vegetable first. While simmering, prepare mizore. Mizore is grated daikon. In Japanese cuisine, mizore refers to ice-cold or grated daikon or turnip. The name derives from its resemblance to sleet, a melting snowfall. Pork miso soup made with it tastes like authentic and formal Japanese restaurant food. When these are almost cooked, add konjac. Bring to a boil again and add pork. Once the pork is cooked, turn off the heat and add miso. For some reason, only this last miso soup uses miso with dashi, so I did not add dashi powder. You may use your favorite miso in any of the 6 types of pork miso soup. If you have any questions about miso, please let me know in the comments section. Drain off as much water as possible from the grated daikon before placing it on top. I wanted to use a yuzu peel but couldn't find it, so I used lemon peel. I hope you will find your favorite pork miso soup among the 6.